Rich colors, cozy textures, and a bold sunflower, this wreath has it all. Today I'm showing you how to make a unique fall harvest wreath that blends mesh, cotton duck fabric, and a beautiful sunflower centerpiece. For this project, I'm going to use a 8-inch wire wreath and sunflower center from the Dollar Tree, a navy fabric from Walmart, and some gold mesh that I picked up on Amazon. And I also have some navy ribbon and some dark green ribbon that I'm going to use. Okay, so this mix of fall colors of burgundy, gold, and green and navy creates a warm, cozy kind of feeling. And my colors in my living room are navy blue. And so I wanted to incorporate that navy blue into all my fall colors this year in my decorating. And so I'm making this wreath to go along with everything. And today I'm going to show you how to do this. So let's get started. So I'm going to put aside some of these for now so that we can cut the fabric. So this fabric I've cut a few pieces off of it and I've used before, so it's not quite 1 yard of fabric, but I should have enough with what I have here. Oh, and you also will need some zip ties for this project. Okay, so I'm just going to unravel this. Let's see. And I'm going to double it up here and make it all nice and even. So I'm going to cut some strips that are 9 inches long. Now you can do 10 inches, but since I have a little bit less fabric than I've hoped, I'm going to cut them at 9. So you also will need a cutting mat to cut this on, and a rotary cutter and a ruler. Okay, so I'm going to cut this, just a little bit of trim off this edge right here to make it even. And you don't really, actually, it doesn't really have to be so much even because all that's going to be hidden whenever you fold up your fabric. Okay, and so then I'm going to go over and measure out 9 inches. My blade's a little bit dull. Okay, so once you have your strip cut out, then you just go down each strip and cut out 9 inches again, 9-inch squares. I have selvage on these ends, so I'm going to cut off that. Even that. Go to 9 inches. Okay, so once you have your square cut out, then you're just going to fold it in half diagonally. And then just like you would be folding a piece of mesh square, you're just going to, I'll just kind of pinch it in the middle, just pinch it over and turn it this way again if you find that easier. So you're just making a rounded petal with it. And then you can tie this with a rubber band, to hold it together until you place it on the wreath, or you can use a zip tie. Now, of course, this would mean you would be putting 2 zip ties on it, but you know, it's up to you. Just want to make sure that it's going to stay in place, hold together, and then you can cut these off here. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more time how to fold these, and you can rewind it and stuff if you need to, just to go over it again. Okay, so I'm just folding it at a diagonal here, corner, and I want the prettier side, you know, with all these different colors to show on the outside, on the, you know, when you're looking at it like this. Like I did this one where you can see all the gold and the green. Okay, so I'm just going in the middle and I'm pinching it with my 2 fingers like this, and then just going to fold it up going north this way and just pinching it inward until I get to the end. And then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the same thing going to the other side. And then pinch all this in here together. You have to hold it really tight between my 2 fingers here. And then take your zip tie and zip it up. And I'm just want to make sure that I have it past where you see the edge here on the middle, you know, going this way so that this doesn't come out from the zip tie. And then just pull it really tight. Okay. Okay, so I've cut and made all of these. Now we're going to cut the mesh. Now this mesh is it's a gold brown mesh, so it's a darker color gold. And I got this on Amazon, and I'll put a link below where you can purchase this on Amazon. And just to let you know that I am an Amazon affiliate, so I do make a small commission on any purchases that you may buy. Okay, so just going to roll this out. Now for our mesh, I'm going to cut these at 10 inches. So I'm just going to first straighten out my edge here. It's a little bit crooked. Okay. And I will measure this out to 10. And cut it. Okay. And so you're going to want to cut, let's see, using these 8-inch rings, you only have 3 sections. So I want to put at least 4, maybe 5 of these in each section. So you'll need about 12 to 15 of 10-inch squares. Okay. And that's for this row. Now for the next row, when I put my navy flowers, I'm going to cut some more of the gold mesh, and I'm going to put them in between those flower petals. So we'll probably need at least 3 to 6 more. So probably a total of about 18 10-inch squares of mesh. Okay, so I'm going to cut all these out, and then we can start to fold them. Okay, so Now that I have cut all the mesh out at 10 inches square, we're going to fold it. I'm going to take it and fold it into the corner just like I did the fabric. Okay. And then we'll go in the middle and pinch it together. And then I'll just keep pinching it and pinching it over. And then turn it and do it again. So once you have it all together, you formed a petal. Like this. Okay, and so then you'll take your zip tie and then zip it right up and pull it really, really tight. And then I've got a pair of heavy duty scissors that I just use to cut stuff with. You can use a wire cutter or anything like that that you want. So we'll do another one. Smash it down a little bit and then go in the middle. And you're just gathering it like an accordion. Pinch it real good right there and turn it. And then gather it again. Sometimes it gets a little bit bulky, and so just redo it. And it forms your petal. Okay, and then take a zip tie again and zip it up real good and tight. Okay, and so I've made the rest of my petals already, but I want to show you that I take like a little paper towel and I'm going to cut off this about an inch or so down from the zip tie. This. Okay. And then I'll just gather all this together. I like to do it on a paper towel or a piece of parchment or something where I can catch all the little pieces so I can throw it away. Okay, so now that we've done that, I've got all of the cloth pieces, all of the gold ones. Now we can start to put them onto our frame. Okay, and you can see that I have some canvas that I put on here that I zip tied, and it wasn't quite large enough, so I put another little piece on the back of it as well. And that's so that our flower can go right through this and attach to the middle. So, because it's not going to have really any area to attach to otherwise once you put all the petals on. Okay, and so I'm going to start with the gold petals. Okay, so I'm going to go in and put my petal on the middle bar. You just want to put underneath there. Let's see. I'm just going to pull it really, really tight. I'm going to cut that one off. Turn it towards the back. Okay, so I'm going to go and I'm going to put 4 more on this section here. Now the zip ties that I'm using are 8 inches. Normally I would use like 6 inches, but it's okay to use the 8 ones if that's all you have. Okay, so that takes care of the first section, and I'm going to go around and do both of these sections as well, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, so I've placed all of my gold petals on the first row. Now I'm going to do my second row, and I've changed my mind about alternating the darker ones with the gold. For the second row, I'm just going to do all of the material fabric ones on this second row. I was placing it, and I put my flower in the middle. I just thought that it would look a lot better if it were all fabric. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking one of my zip ties, and I'm going to place it on this first bar. If you can see in between here, I'm just going to place one in between there, and then pull it up. Missed it. Like this. And then I will place my fabric one so that it covers, it's going to cover like all of these other zip ties. And I'm placing this sort of in the middle of one section. I will place the rest next to it, after I put this one on there. I just want to see how it's going to look. Okay, making sure that it covers the bottoms of these. So I made enough of the fabric ones to put at least 3 in each section. And you can put more than that if you feel like you need to fill in some gaps. Okay, so then I'll take another zip tie, placing it underneath that first bar, my zip tie, and then pulling it up. Okay, and I'll place my next flower petal. So I'm going to take scissors and cut these off. Now, when you go to put your flower up here on top, it's all of this here is not going to show because your flower is going to cover it. Okay, and then I'll just go and make the next one. You have to move some of these out of the way to do that. So place this in here. Place our next petal. If you need to adjust it a little bit, do it before you tighten it. That way you can move it a little bit. Okay. And have another one right here. This is going in the same section, so about 4 of these flowers per section. And of course, you can use any colors that you want. While if whatever matches your decor or your theme. Like if you want to do one for Christmas, this would be beautiful for Christmas. Or just an everyday wreath. I know Dollar Tree has different colors of these. This burgundy one would go with any, everyday look to your decor, not just for Thanksgiving or fall. And I do believe they have other colors. Okay, so I finished this section. I'm going to do these two other sections, and then I'll come back and we'll put our flower on. Okay, so I finished my row of fabric flowers. And now we're going to put our flower. So to do this, I'll show you, these have a clip on the back of them. But I'm going to take the clip off so that I can make a couple wires, glue a couple wires on there to go through the mesh and secure this. So I did that with this flower. I already took the clip off of the center. So to do this, I'm just going to take a couple of these pipe cleaners and fold it in half and kind of flatten out the bottom on each one. Okay, and then just going to put a lot of hot glue here. And I'm doing it above and below where the clip was on this stem, because I'm going to have to make a hole through the mesh in order to put that little stem through, because it pokes out. You can also cut it if you want, but if you cut it, you might risk the chance of the whole flower coming off. So I'm just going to keep it on there. We'll have to let this sit for a few minutes to set up. Okay, and while that's setting up, I'll show you that right here in the middle, I'm going to go in with my scissors, or you can use any other tool that you want, but I'm going to do it from the back because I want to make sure that it's in the center. Just take my scissors and go through one of these little mesh holes and make a bigger hole. And that way that stem will fit right through there. Okay, and then we're going to pull the pipe cleaners through these other little holes. Okay, so I've got my flower ready, and it's going to decide where to it's going to pull this through one of these holes right here in the mesh. And if you have to take your scissors and make the hole bigger, you can do that. Just going to stick these pipe cleaners through here. It's a little bit stubborn. Wire got a little bit bent so it wouldn't go through, so I'm going to just trim the edge of it off of there. Okay, and so while I'm going to pull these down, I'm going to look from the side. I'm going to make sure that the stem goes through that hole that we made. Turn it over if you need to. Just trying to line it up with that hole. Okay. And then you can pull these. And I'm just going to twist them all up. My stem didn't quite go through that hole, but it's right there. It's okay if it doesn't go all the way through. You're just wanting to make sure that it's center. And I'll just take these and just kind of all twist them all together. Oops. Yeah, I got it a little bit too tight. Okay, so the top portion of this flower came out. You can see at the bottom. I just put some glue there, some hot glue, and I'm going to stick it right back in there and glue it. And that should keep it secure. So now you can just leave it like this, hang it up on your wall. But I'm going to put some ribbons on it. But before I do that, I need to cut off these. So now I've got them all twisted and twist them up a little bit more all together. And then cut that, bend it down. Okay, and so for the back, we can cover it up with a piece of felt. And then that way it'll cover the work that you did on the back and it won't show. And it also will keep it from scratching any of your doors or your walls. So we'll do that after I finish the ribbon. So I don't really want like a bow per se, but I think I'm going to hang some ribbons down underneath it. So to do that, I'm going to use some of the ribbon that I showed you at the beginning. I've got this emerald green ribbon and some satin navy ribbon. So I'm just going to cut a piece so that it hangs about 18 inches. I'm going to dovetail the ends. This, and then I'm going to take it and loop it around the first bar, the lowest bar here at the bottom. And this is a double satin, so you don't have to worry about turning it around. But you can twist it around if you need to in order to get it facing the right way. And I'm just going to tie it. Tie it on that bar and then let it hang. And I'll come over and I'll do the same thing with the emerald green. And then I'll hang it up on my door and show you what it looks like. Okay, so here it is. So I just love the colors. Even some burlap instead of the gold would be beautiful on this wreath. So I hope you like it. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends who love fall decor. So be sure to check out my other tutorials in the links below. And until next time, happy fall.